Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings coming at you on behalf of epicconversions.com. Today I want to talk to you about business opportunity versus business improvement as far as markets are concerned. This will take a minute. I'm walking a different place today. I just wanted to kind of show you guys where I'm at. This is a little industrial park outside of town. I swear nobody's are ever here, you know. I like it because it's like it's not crazy special or anything. It's just you know it's one of those places where, because it's quiet, because there's never anybody here, it's nice to come here and walk sometimes. In fact, there's so few people here that sometimes I wonder if anyone even works here. I mean, there's like a couple buildings back here in this industrial park, but I swear I never see more than a couple cars here at one time. And these parking lots are made for, 50 to 100 cars, but I never see more than like one or two cars here. So it's to kind of wonder. It's a little sketchy. But that being said, it's an industrial park. It's got a nice little pond here. It's got a nice little walking trail. And it's just a nice place. It's quiet, solitude. It's not the same as like walking on a beach in Malibu or something. It's not just some kind of prime vacation spot. But I gotta admit, I've never really been like attracted to prime vacation spots. I've always been attracted to like places of solitude, places where there's not a lot of people and I can get kind of closer to nature. That's always been my favorite kind of places. That's why a lot of times we vacation, in the mountains and not like along the beaches. So anyways, I want to talk to you about business opportunity versus business improvement. It's two different markets, right? In the one market, business opportunity, your customers, they tend to be, a little bit more beginner, a little less knowledgeable. Well, I'm not going to say they're not knowledgeable. A lot of people in Biz Op, they are knowledgeable because they've consumed a lot of information. They have bought in a lot of things. And because of that, they're fairly knowledgeable. But it's kind of like the knowledge that you would have if you got really interested in surfing. But you live in Ohio like me, and there's like not really anywhere to surf. But you got really interested in it. This is kind of a personal example because there was a time in my life where I got really interested in surfing. I was reading all these books about surfing and, consuming all this information, watching documentaries about surfers, and just really getting into this, concept of surfing. I was deep diving into it, right? And I learned a lot about surfing, but I had never surfed in my life. I'd never purchased a surfboard. I've never been on a surfboard. At the time I was consuming that information, I'd never even been to the ocean. I'm from Ohio. Now, since then I joined the Navy and I got to see a lot of places, and I've seen the ocean plenty of times. But back then I hadn't. I was learning about something I was really interested in, but I didn't know anything about it. Not really. I mean, sure, I had read about it, but there's a big difference between knowing the path and walking the path. So in Biz Op, you could have customers who are knowledgeable, but they've never really done anything. They might be learning, they might be knowledgeable about a subject, but there's a difference between just like knowing about something and actually doing it. And I'm sure everybody who's watching this understands that. You know, I could give you a 10-step, you know, special report on how to change the oil in your vehicle. And you read enough of those 10-step reports, you're going to be pretty knowledgeable about changing your oil. But it's all just like, you know, didactic. You know what I mean? It's not true experience. And true experience outranks everything. So even though a lot of people in Biz Op are fairly knowledgeable, they really don't even know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? They're talking about things they read. But as far as like actually understanding the principles behind things, why things happen the way they happen, and being able to adapt those tactics and ideas into other completely different things because they've done it and they know how it works and how it could work. They can't do that because they haven't experienced it. They don't know. So that's Biz Op, right? That's the kind of customers you sell to in Biz Op a lot of times. And at the heart of the Biz Op customer, and I'm not criticizing Biz Op customers, by the way. I'm not. You know, I sell to plenty of Biz Op customers. But at the heart of the Biz Op customer is this, like they're seeking, you know? They're seeking something, and they don't always know exactly what it is. They're looking for something. They're desperate for it. They're trying to figure out a way to solve their problem. Which 9 times out of 10 in Biz Op, that's how can I get out of this stupid job and make some money easier? I want it easy, I want it fast, and ideally I want it cheap, if possible. If I can't get it cheap, then I like to just pay for it one time and not have to pay for it continually. Like that's kind of the mentality of the Biz Op buyer. There is something wrong with that, by the way. I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with that. There is something wrong with that. However, it's not like there's something wrong with it from the standpoint of like you're messing up if you're like that. I mean, you are messing up, but it's like a problem that everybody goes through, in my opinion. Everybody's been that guy who wants to make money fast, and they don't know like what exactly they want to invest in. They're just looking for something that doesn't cost too much and they could get them some quick results and make some money. Like a lot of people get into online business that way. So that's why I say there's not necessarily anything wrong with it. It's just like a stage in the journey for a customer and for a business person. The problem is when you stay in that phase, when you stay that way. That's almost like stunted growth. It's almost like, do you remember that movie Interview with the Vampire? Where like they wanted a child, so they turned that little girl into a vampire. And this little girl, I don't know how old she was. She was like 100 years old or something. And she was still like a little child. And, you know, she's very upset, very disgruntled because she hasn't grown into a woman. Anyways, this is a weird movie, but I actually read those books too. They're alright. Got a little too homoerotic for me, personally. But it was alright. But anyways, again, there's nothing wrong with being a Biz Op person, you know? The problem is staying a Biz Op person. So that's the Biz Op market. I could go on and on about the Biz Op market. I've been selling the Biz Op market for quite a long time, so you know, I know quite a bit about this market. Back in 2022, I started selling newsletters, PLR newsletters, and they weren't really as much aimed at Biz Op because they came with a PLR license. They were aimed at a different market. And this market was the business opportunity. This is the business improvement market. It's different, you know. Some of the key differences between Biz Op and Biz Improvement. I don't know how well you guys are going to hear what I'm saying. It's kind of windy out here, so hopefully this turns out okay. And if not, sorry. Maybe I can use AI to fix it or something. Who knows? But so anyways, with business improvement, we're talking about a different kind of customer. Many times, these customers already have email lists. Many times, these customers have already experienced success on the internet. It's just, usually they haven't experienced the kind of success they have wanted to experience. Or they have experienced success in the past, and now that success has dwindled, and they've gotten off path somewhere. They have zigged when they should have zagged somewhere along the lines, and they've reached a point where they're having trouble growing, or they are shrinking, and they're trying to stop the bleeding. So it's a different kind of customer. These are customers who have experience. They have walked the path, right? So these business improvement customers, they're going to refund less in many cases. They're easier to deal with in many cases because you don't have to educate them as much. Generally, these business improvement people have already put a lot of work in on self-improvement. They understand, a lot of the foundations and principles that you might have to introduce to your Biz Op customers. So, generally, the business improvement market, you might say, well, that sounds like an easier market to deal with. I want to service those people. Yeah. Another thing about business improvement is they're willing to pay a little bit more money. And the reason why is because they have done a little work on themselves, and they understand it's okay to invest in yourself. It's okay to invest in your business. It's going to pay dividends. They understand those principles because they've lived them. That's a contrast to Biz Op, where people are just reading concepts and ideas from books. Then they get really upset when things don't pay off for them like they want it to. It's like, oh, this is nothing like it was in the book. Why isn't it working for me? This is a scam. It's like, no, it's not a scam. It's just, it's also like business requires adjustment. What works for that person's not exactly going to be the same thing that works for you. You're going to have to adjust it for the variables in your life and in your business. So there's like nuances to it that people with experience already understand. So kind of the differences between business improvement and business opportunity markets. I think that a lot of people, like what I see today, is a lot of people trying to service business improvement markets, and because they can make more money. So I understand why they're doing it, but I don't know that they have the experience to be doing it. They don't have the knowledge and experience to truly be helping those people, and that's unfortunate. Not surprising, but unfortunate. And I say it's not surprising because people do tend to chase the bag. Lord of mercy. So those are some of the differences between, Biz Op and business improvement. Now me, I kind of cater to both markets a little bit. I just put out as I'm recording this, I just put out an a new information product called Profit Train Emails. And it's really meant to service the business improvement market. It's not really servicing the business opportunity market because it kind of assumes that you have an email list when you buy it. It's an audio training, which is not a shiny object if you think about it, because like not a lot of people are doing audio trainings these days. It's kind of a little more old school, which I love. And the thing is, business improvement people, they understand that it doesn't really matter what form the information takes place, if they can get the information they need to move the business forward. Whether it's audio, whether it's video, whether it's special report, they're okay with it as long as what's in there is what they need. So that's a business improvement thing. A business opportunity, this crowd is gonna kind of chase trends a little bit more. They're gonna be a little bit more apt to chase trends. But I'll tell you what, even when I'm serving business opportunity, I still make them conform to whatever I want to do. Like I will like make them, if I want to sell an information product as an audio, I will. I don't care. A lot of times I can get away with that just because I have a little bit of a name. Now people who don't have a name behind them, they're just starting out, and you're selling the business opportunity. I think you can still sell in whatever medium you want to. It's just like you need to be good at like the marketing on the sales page. Like you need to be able to position it in a way that makes them interested in it, that makes them want it, even though it's not exactly like they're used to buying video courses and you're selling like whatever, physical index cards. The whole thing's on these physical index cards, and when you buy it, you get them shipped to you in the mail. Like you could do that, right? But like you have to position it in the right way on the sales page, and if you don't, then it's just not going to work out, especially when nobody knows who you are. But I think it is good to deviate even from the beginning. Even when nobody knows who you are, I still think it's good to deviate from what other people are doing as a way to just kind of stand out a little bit and differentiate. But you got to know your stuff, man. You got to constantly be studying. You got to constantly be trying new things, and then the things that you sell, the information that you sell, it's based off the stuff that you're experiencing and the stuff that you're trying, and that's the way to go about it, And even with Biz Op, and business improvement is like there's more money to be made, in my opinion. It's lucrative, but man, there's so many examples of people who have made tons and tons of money from just Biz Op. There's tons of money in Biz Op. It's got a little bit of a bad reputation. People tend to not respect it as much, that market. Business improvement gets a lot more respect. But, whatever, there's money to be made in both those niches. So both of those markets, I should say. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling today. I hope this is educational for you. I hope just understanding the difference, the subtle nuance between those two markets, if this has helped you understand that a little bit. If this resonates with you at all, be sure to get over to epicconversions.com, sign up for my free newsletter. I like to think I put out my best free content by newsletter, by free newsletter. Like I said, I do have a brand new product on the market. I just released it. It's going to go up in price in 4 days. Today's day one, and I'm going to be promoting it for the next 4 days. And then after that, I'm going to take the price up, and I'm going to leave it on the market for at least a year. I'll reevaluate it in 2025 if I want to retire it or, update it or whatever. But that's how I do products. I retire them, update them, or leave them alone year by year. So this one will be on the market for a year. Called Email Train. I'm sorry. It's called Profit Train Emails. It's got a bump offer. It doesn't really have a funnel. This is a very tiny deal. It's Profit Train Emails, and it's got a bump, and that bump is Profit Train Emails Part 2. Because what I did was I wanted to give people 25 different styles for writing emails quickly, easily, that gets sales. And I called it Profit Train Emails, 25 of them. But really, I designed it to be 50. So I actually did 50 of them. And so the second 25 is called Profit Train Emails Part 2. And that's a little bump offer. So if you want to get them both, they're right there on the sales page. But there's not like an elaborate funnel or anything like that. So I don't know what it is. Well, I don't know why there's not a funnel. Maybe I'm not ambitious enough in my old age or something. But I just wanted to put some stuff out there. I realized that in 2024 here, I hadn't put out a lot of publicly available, products. I've just been kind of promoting my membership clubs. So it's like, it was time to put some stuff out there. So I was excited to put it out. And if you're interested in that, you got to join my email list, right? Because I'm only promoting stuff to my email list this year. I'm serious. I'm serious, guys. I'm only promoting stuff to my email list. So if you wanna learn what I'm offering, if you wanna know what I'm selling, you gotta join my list. That's the only way to do it, man. Because I'm telling you, I'm gonna put out a lot of public stuff this year, but I'm only promoting it to my list. So get over to epicconversions.com. Join my free newsletter if you want to see what I got going on. All right, that's all I got. Hope you guys are doing amazing out there. Hope you're having a great weekend, and I'll see you. Peace now.